that it gets the mention that it deserves to get. And then the other thing about San Antonio is probably, I think, the best fajitas I've ever had in my life was in San Antonio.
You are not wrong.
I can relate to that because I've been through San Antonio a couple of times. Never got a chance to stay around there, but the last time I was in San Antonio, I remember we were making a rush trip through. We were looking for a place to stay the night, and we found a motel that was done a little bit like a castle, and it was all in pink. I mean, we're driving down the freeway, and we saw this sucker sitting there and say, okay, there's one right there. Let's stop. And that's where we spent the night. But that's my association. That's my association with. Go ahead.
It's a really cool city. Like, and you're not wrong about the fajitas. Like, the first time I had fajitas out of state, it looked like they had served me rabbit pellets on a tortilla, as compared to what I had grown up with. I was like, is this a joke? Like, what is this? I want my like strips of steak and my guacamole. Like,
yeah, well, I honestly, I can't remember the name of the restaurant because this had to be 20 years ago. And now I don't know if I can say this on family radio. So Nick, if you have to edit this out, go ahead. But I remember taking my first bite and I thought I was going to have a gastrogasm. It was so good.
Hey, it is. Yeah. If it's done right, it is a delicacy. Yep.
Yeah. They get it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious.
Tell us a little bit, going back to the music here, tell us a little bit about the album Things to Come. And we're going to be playing the title track after we finish talking with you, but tell us about the album, how it came together, what you put into it, your ideas in making it.
Man, it was cool. I love things just kind of musically for me. I just kind of all let them like naturally flow, is like including the songs like coming to life and every time. And I'd written this album probably over the 3-year period. I put out my last record in 2017. That was called Things I Need to Say. And to me, this was just a more honed in version of that record. Really, like I'd grown as an artist, a person, a musician, a writer, and it all really came together on this record that way. And in another cool way, I kind of formulated the track list. I was going back and forth from Nashville and Texas doing live shows, and I would change the set list every night, and I would say if it was 10+ songs, like every song that's on this record was always a part of the set list. And I was basically, all these songs were audience tested, I guess you could say.
Right.
In a certain sense, it's like I was watching what people would say after the show, but like, man, I really like this song. Is that out yet? Mm-hmm. And I would write it down. I'd be like, okay, cool. That's a good sign. Let's put that one on the record. Because if it happens, like, it's like like a 3-strike rule. I'm like, well, it's like, if people came up multiple times, you're like, oh, well, that's got to go on there. People are connecting with it. And that's what you want people to do with your record,
Absolutely. No other way about it. And speaking about things to come, you have a new single that's going to be dropping on the 5th of February, if I'm correct. Something Other Than You?
Yeah, Something Other Than You Are. Yes, that's right. February 5th.
February 5th. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I want to be sure and remind you, as I do all our guests, I have a page. One of my social media pages is on Facebook. It's a groups page, The David Bowers Awards, and you can go there and post your music, your new releases, play dates, anything you want to share that's part of your musical career, you want to share with the fans and followers. That's what the page is there for. Feel free to post it there. We'll pick it up and post it on other social media pages and elsewhere where we post it. So we'll give you a little extra mileage out of whatever you post there on our Facebook page. Of course, we're all over the internet, but that was one that I had put up several years ago, and it's served well. So left it up, and it's a good place to start because it saves time from a lot of emerging artists that don't have their own PR department. They don't have to figure how to squeeze me into a mailing list or remember to send me the notes. They can just go to the Facebook page, post it there. I'll pick it up and go on with it. But anyway, we want to thank you for being here with us today, for sharing your story with us as well as your music. And we do hope you'll come back and see us again in the future.
Oh, absolutely, man. I have a rule. As long as you'll have me back, I'll always come back,
Well, you got that one engraved for you, because once you're on our show, you're part of our family. So, send us your new releases. We'll get some play for you, and we'll do anything we can to help you. And well, within the law, of course, we have to be careful. In this day and age, the thought police are running around everywhere. But hey, seriously, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your music with us, and we do look forward to seeing you again in the future. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Parsons, and here he is with the title tune from his current album, Things to Come.
He said, "Hey man, remember that one time? It was broad, but I knew what he meant. Yeah, it's there in the front of the back of my mind, with all of my greatest hits. Yeah, those days ain't all California. What a trip in too many ways. Yeah, we're tearing up squares in front of a stranger, just getting messed up on a plane. Oh, I'd go back if I could. That ain't how it works. I lived it, I loved it, and all that I learned. Oh, time is a healer and life must go on. Yeah, so here's to all the things to come. Got lost up in South Dakota. Oh, and man, I got lost in her eyes. Yeah, I lost a few friends and family since, so at least I could say that I tried. Oh, I'd go back if I could. That ain't how it works. I lived it, I loved it, and all that I learned. Oh, time is a healer and life must go on. Yeah, so here's to all the things to come. All I said would be different, and all I'd done would have changed. Yeah, well, I'm proud of me and who I've come to be. Ain't nostalgia a powerful thing? Yeah, nostalgia's a powerful thing. I'd go back if I could. That ain't how it works. I lived it, I loved it, and all that I learned. Oh, time is a healer and life must go on. Yeah, go back if I could. That ain't how it works. I lived it, I loved it, and all that I learned. Oh, time is a healer and life must go on. Yeah, so here's to all the things to come. Yeah, here's to all the things to come. Yeah.
I like that song, Things to Come. I think I'm going to make that my motto. I'll hang a sign up in the studio. Here's to all the things to come. Like that tune. I like the thought. And really like having these guys on the show. We've had some great guests over the years. And speaking of things to come, I certainly look forward to getting to talk to many more as the weeks roll by. And we hope you'll be back with us again next week when we do it all over again with a couple of brand new guests. And we've got some great guests scheduled for the coming weeks and months. So we hope you'll stick with us. Don't forget, drop us a line if you have any comments, complaints, criticisms, and nice things to say, too. We'll accept the good thoughts. David at TheDavidBowers.com is the email address. We'd love to hear from you. John Bon Jovial, take us home.
Yes, sir. Great show today. Hey, folks, thank you very much. You did it again. You spent another perfectly good hour with us here at the David Bowers Awards, and we really are truly grateful for your presence today and hope that you'll join us again next week. The David Bowers Awards is broadcast around the world from the studios of Computer Help USA in Naples, Florida, and, of course, from the Valley of the Sun in Tempe, Arizona. And we are available for free on most major streaming services. Be sure to follow The David Bowers on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and join us next week for The David Bowers Awards, Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern on WRFZ-FM 106.3 in Rochester, New York. Of course, Rochester Free Radio. And you'll also find us on Blog Talk Radio, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. UTC. So until next week, for the David Bowers and Nick, our marvelously geeky engineer, I am yours truly, the lovably legendary John Bon Jovial, saying wash your hands, keep your distance, get your vaccine, and we'll see you next week right here on the David Bowers Awards.